people to learn from. And so pretty excited to have you here, Coach. Thanks again for taking your busy time to jump in here with us on Fridays. We sure appreciate it.
No problem. Well, you ready to get started?
Yeah, let's rock and roll, brother.
Okay. Well, again, everybody, and those of you that follow me on YouTube or my Facebook page, my wife and I's passion is going to be always health, always health. And so whenever we open up and have a discussion with a potential new client or whoever out on the street or at a Starbucks, that's what we open up with when they ask us, as I'm carrying around my water bag, you know, what is that you're drinking? And so I'm always going to open up with what it's done, my story, because, you know, those of you that follow me know that I do have a story. And today's topic, anything that I'm talking about today is my personal opinion or is something that I've heard from somebody else. Okay, as far as the science, I'm not using my own words when it comes to science. And so, like I was telling JJ, I had a topic that I was going to talk about today. Matter of fact, I think JJ and I talked about it last Friday. It was going to be a little bit about one of our protocols that we have. Emily and I have come up with three very, very powerful protocols that will actually help to reverse some very strong or very difficult major medical issues. This is not me talking. This is science is showing all this. And those of you that follow me know that I like to put the actual science case studies right after I talk about it on my YouTube channel. That way you can show this is not me talking. I'm not the one saying it. I'm reading the research. Emily and I have been doing research on these three major protocols for a long time, for a few years now. And we both spend hours and hours and hours on research because new research comes up all the time. And so we want to get the information out of the people. There's not enough of us out there, and there's not enough of us actually showing the public the actual research because, and I'm going to be very blunt here, because the doctors don't have time to do it, and they don't really care. The longer I get involved in this, not only in this hydrogen-rich water, and plus these other two protocols that we have, the more I'm put in front of medical professionals and doctors, and the more I'm learning that they have no idea. And that is the blunt. They have no idea. And what's really sad is a lot of them don't care, because we've experienced personally ourselves where we have taken some that very, very strong 2.5 strong acidic water, where people have had some major bacterial issues with skin and have been able to help reverse that issue because of how powerful that the 2.5, the high 2.5 is for bacterial. Well, again, there's a lot of science that shows why the 2.5 is being used by actually the science name for the 2.5, I got to get that clear, is hypochlorous acid. And here in California, we have a university. It's a medical university. It's Loma Linda, and in Marietta, Loma Linda Hospital, which is probably I would have to say the top hospital in California, actually has a wound care center that uses hypochloric acid to treat wounds. So that's not me saying it. So here you have one. And so we've experienced somebody a young girl who got her ear torn off because she was attacked by a dog. And while she was in the hospital, a lot of us who've been around the medical field or been in health know that a lot of the bacterial diseases like staph or MRSA is contracted not because you got it from the outside, because you were in the hospital.
Yeah.
You know that. And so this young girl, because she contracted a bacteria in her ear, that the antibiotics just were not working, period. And like I said, I mean, I'm not, this is not me. This is what, this is what Loma Linda wound care centers actually use to combat, staph and MRSA and other bacterial stuff. And so we just happen to have a device on our kitchen sink that produces hypochloric acid, hypochlorous acid. We have a device that actually does that also. And it only costs us a few cents because of the water that we use to convert it. But what happened was they couldn't stop it. It was in her ear. And the antibiotics they were using, and like I said, some of us know that sometimes the string of MRSA or staph has actually adapted to that antibiotic. So they were trying all kinds of different ones because it wasn't working. The issue was that it was spreading toward the inner ear and heading toward the brain. And obviously we don't want that to happen. So we suggested the parents to have the doctor there at the hospital they were at to contact Loma Linda, the wound care center, and ask to get a bottle of it or ask to get some. Well, of course, what was the answer we got, or they got? Well, the doctor says, I've never heard of that before. Besides, that's not going to work. That was the answer. It's not going to work. Well, what you're doing, how's that working? So what we did was, now, of course, I'm not going to tell them, or my wife and I are not going to tell them that this is the cure-all. We're not going to say that because we don't know if it's actually going to work or not. I mean, we've experienced in the past, and it has. But I will never tell anybody, oh, yeah, this will do it right off the bat. No, you can't do that. And so I said, well, I'll tell you what, we'll bring some down. I'll bring a quart of it down and I'll show you how to use it and let's see what happens. I mean, what choice did they have?
Really? And what do they have to lose?
What do they have to lose? Because it's not going to cost them anything. I mean, if you look up hypochlorous acid on eBay and look how much it costs, then, if you're going to give it away for free, I think that'd be a smarter choice. So anyway, what happened was, and I'm not going to get into detail with it, is we showed them how to use it, told them the protocol. I think Dr. Peggy Parker and Dr. Steen, I think his name is. I think they published a book, a PDF book, I think there is out there that actually shows all the different ways that you can use hydrogen-rich water. And there's one, I think in one of their books, they do show the 2.5 and how it is able to combat 99.9% of all bacteria. So like I said, it's not me saying it. There's other information out there about it. But anyway, what happened was we showed them how to use it, told them how to do it, and just do it. I mean, don't wait for the nurses to leave. Don't just do it. Well, within just a few hours, the nurses came back. Well, I forgot how long it took, but just a few hours, or 10 or 12 hours, I think. The nurses came back to unwrap it and put whatever stuff they're putting on it, and she couldn't believe it. She couldn't believe that it was starting to reverse. And so they kept doing it, and it was 3 or 4 days before Christmas. And the issue was, if I remember right, the type of staph that she had was contagious, so they couldn't let her leave. Well, within a day or so, when the doctor came back to check it, it was either the nurse or the doctor commented to them that, we must have found the antibiotic that works because it's getting better. Well, what happened was it was progressing so quickly that she was able to go home before Christmas time. And that's just a that's just a few of 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 what Emily and I have done over the years. We've been in this. We've been involved with this hydrogen-rich water for, I think, going on 8 years now. So we've had plenty of time to see a lot of different results. But like I said, I'm going to go back on what I said last Friday, that most of the distributors they have no idea the power of what they have. Now, I remember Daniel D. McCauley, when I first got involved in hydrogen-rich water, I went to one of his trainings, and you guys might remember this, but I remember him saying that one day that most of the households here in the United States will eventually have this device in their home that will help to clean up the water and give us the most healthiest water on the planet. Well, I think that day is starting to come closer and closer, because what's happening is I'm hearing more people talking about it, or I'm meeting people that have the device. And like I said last week, the ones that do have, almost, I would have to venture to say, not one of them I've met so far over these past few months or a year or so, they have no idea what they have on that counter. They still don't have any idea. And like I said, this is my personal opinion, and I think we need to get back to what Ashura originally wanted us to do, is to always talk about the health factor of this water. And that's what the whole idea, and to me, that's what he developed it in the first place. He saw a vision. And actually that, the vision is that our country, I'm speaking of the United States, our country is getting so toxic, and the environmental toxins are getting worse and worse and worse every single year, because it's on everything. You're not going to get away from it, guys. There's no way don't let anybody tell you, okay, if you drink hydrogen-rich water, or if you go to a primal eating lifestyle, or you start doing intermittent fasting or prolonged fasting, you will get away from the environmental toxin. They won't be in your body. Now, that's BS. You can't get away from it. Well, but what you can do is you can use tools that were given to us by God, and tools that our ancestors used. That's why I call it primal eating. These are tools. These are 3 very, very powerful tools that will detoxify the body and use the body's own mechanisms that were designed in the first place to detoxify the environmental toxins out of our body every single day. And what's happening is that a lot of us that are involved in hydrogen-rich water are doing a lot of presentations, and we're not focusing on the actual what this water can do to help us get healthy, and to help us prevent major medical issues like I'll pick the type 2 diabetes in young and old, rampant. Cancer is still rampant in young and old. Autoimmune is becoming huge now, which means, and gut issues. Wow. I mean, what happened with these health professionals jumping on these YouTube channels and Facebook and trying to educate people about their gut? Because 80% of your immune system is in your gut, and because of the environmental toxins and the toxic chemicals on all the bottled waters they're drinking, which is nothing new. You can look that up yourself. And then, of course, the environmental, the air you're breathing, what's happened, and because of all the processed food, because people just they say they don't have time to cook their own food. And even if they had time to cook their food, you go to these shopping centers, what are you buying? You're buying toxic food because they're contaminated, and it's getting worse and worse. And so that poor gut is what? It's sick. And so you're killing off all the gut bacteria, the good gut bacteria that's preventing the gut is the center point. It's attached to your brain. Your gut, if your gut is sick, your brain's sick. And so if, this is where we need to educate people and explain to them that you got to fix that. If you want to get healthy right out, you got to fix that gut. Well, what's really crazy is in the last few years, a lot of science, a lot of research is being published now. And I've got one here actually, but a lot of research is being published now showing how hydrogen-rich water can actually help the good gut bacteria stay healthy. I mean, that's, like I said, this is science. Okay, so those of you that have IBS or diverticulitis or colitis or whatever, you know what? You might want to look into hydrogen-rich water to start off, because the topic that I wanted to talk about today is oxidative stress, and the root cause of inflammation is what? Oxidative stress. What's the other root cause of inflammation? Environmental toxins, your body, chronic toxicity. And that's where most Americans are. That's why we're such a sick country, because of that. And what's happening is that, and this is the comment I've gotten in the last few years, is people, and I'm seeing this more and more happening, is people are bailing out when a distributor is sharing the water and is not educating them. Well, then that person is not going to see the value in it. Right. So what I'm noticing is that more and more distributors are sharing the water, and they're more focused on what? What are they more focused on? Can someone tell me that?
Probably the business side of things.
Exactly. And so when somebody, I've heard more and more distributors complaining about this, and I'm guilty at the same, but because they're sharing the water with somebody, that person's got either type 2 diabetes or acid reflux or high blood pressure or what. You've heard of how this water has helped people with cholesterol and all. Well, the problem is that people don't understand that there's two types of LDL cholesterol, and it's not driven by, it's driven by inflammation because of the food we're eating. I don't really get involved with LDL. If somebody comes to me and says, well, my cholesterol is at 246. Okay, well, you know what? Change your lifestyle. That will change. And even if your cholesterol, even if you change to hydrogen-rich water or you change your diet, and your cholesterol isn't dropping significantly, don't worry about it, because most likely, because you got more good HCl than that. But don't worry about it, because it's not, the cholesterol isn't the issue. That's not the issue, and I won't get involved in that. But anyway, the problem is that, and this is a complaint I've seen out there, and this is my personal opinion from what I'm seeing, is that a lot of the upline is pushing the business side of it and not the health side. And the other thing that I'm noticing too is a lot of the uplines are showing, and this is what I'm seeing more and more of the uplines saying, that we got to be careful on what we say. They're talking about what we say, but yet I'm still seeing a lot of them posting pictures of their fancy cars, fancy houses, fancy trips, whatever they're posting. I'm seeing a lot of them doing that. I'm going to put that out there.
Yeah.
They're not particular saying where that came from, but we all know where it comes from. So what's happening is it's frustrating the people that are getting just started. And those of us that have owned our own businesses in the past or now owns them, you know, when you first got started, did you start making money right away?
No, I got involved for the health side of it. I didn't care about the business. Actually, that actually cost me a lot of money because I didn't care about the business. I didn't understand how it worked, and I didn't understand what I had in front of me. If I would have known more about the business, I would have saved myself about $70,000. But I made the mistakes I did, and I was more interested in the health side of it than the business side of it. And I had 3 other companies I was running at the same time when I got involved with this. So I really didn't care about the business. I just wanted the water because the health was what was important to me. But one thing about that, I know that because I talk to people from both sides of the spectrum, because I've learned that there's some people who just simply don't care about their health. Plain and simple. They just don't care until they lose it. I've had so many people tell me, oh, I'm healthy. I don't want to live forever anyway, and they just don't even care about their health. And so a lot of times those people, they're more interested in the business side of things. And then you got the opposite side where there's someone like me who wasn't even interested in the business at all. Who's only interested in health. And, we've learned that if we talk to people about the business when they're interested in the health, it's just going to go in their one ear and out their other ear. And you're not even going to catch them. We got to find out what they're interested in and work on talking to them about the things that push their buttons. And it's hard to deviate between it all. But I know that I'm just trying to tell my story when it comes to this water. Much like what you're doing, and then also trying to educate about other people's stories. And because for me, it was a story that changed everything. And that's why I have such an adamant desire to get stories out there. And of course, we have to be all careful because we can't say this, we can't say that, we can't this, that, and the other, because we got the big bad, FDA, Fraud and Death Administration, in the background getting ready to just pounce on us at any chance they might get. But that's what I love so much about what you're doing, Coach, is that you're trying to stick with the science and stuff instead of opinion or whatever. It's more like, hey, here's what the science says. And so I really love that because there's a lot of people out there who they want to see the science, and unless they can see the science, they don't care how many people, like my friend Dennis Dickey, whose leg is starting to get better from drinking the water and soaking it in 2.5 and that kind of thing. And so but I think what you're doing is really powerful stuff, and I'd love to be able to help people learn what your protocol is, because you talk about your 3-step protocol, and we all know that number 1 is hydrogen-rich water, which is Kong's water, which is why we're here doing what we're doing. But there's the other 2 sides of that protocol. That's where I don't think people even have a clue about the primal eating and the other aspects of being able to lose that belly fat. Because we know there's a lot of people out there who are, they're battling their belly fat and wondering how the heck to get rid of it. And so hopefully we can help some people with having you in here once a week and giving them some pointers and some tips and, letting them know how they can get a hold of you and, utilize your services if that's something that suits them.
Yeah. Well, but we also have to talk about those upline distributors who basically, there's a few of them out there that actually that actually talked about the health benefits of this water at the very beginning. And they have developed a business because of that. It didn't take, it took them, well, what's it? They say 5 years before you even make a profit when you open up a business. I personally think it's longer than that, but they've been in the business for 8 or 9 or 10 years. And because of the benefits this water offers to you, they have built a legitimate business from it. And they financially, and I wish more and more of these uplines would talk a little bit more about what they're using their money for. And I think you and I both know who they are. But these people have taken the benefits from sharing the water, developing a massive business, and taken that money and put it to great use. And some of them are building churches in poverty areas. Some of them are donating tons of money to projects that help other people. And we know who they are. Because why? Because they don't talk about what they have. They talk about how they're using the money and how Enagic how the business has helped them get to that point. That's why they're where they are. And we got to, I mean, I don't know if you guys have noticed, there must be something, there's an issue out there, because I'm seeing more posts about the uplines posting, be careful what you say, you know, don't show money, on and on. So that's true, because we are being watched big time. And I think everybody should stop. I mean, and this is where the upline or the distributor needs to educate their new prospect who get involved in the water. You know, they got involved because of the health. They realize there's value to it. And then that distributor comes in and says, well, you know what, since you've seen the value in this, you need to share this with your family and friends, because they need to see the value in this. And I mean, most likely every person you share the water with who sees the health benefits, because it did something to them, their friends and families are sick too. And so that's when you explain to them, so you know what, if you share the water with them, you help them, then you're going to be rewarded by the company. They're going to give you a referral fee, because you're doing exactly what the company wants you to do. You're sharing health. You're doing exactly that. Then when you tell them very simply what it is, or what can happen, what are they going to say? Well, what do you mean? So I can make money helping people? Yeah, you can. That is when you start educating them about the business end of it. But right up front, give them the rules.
Yeah.
Right up front. Don't wait till the end. And that's the problem we're having, is that the new distributors who are sharing the water were not educated by their distributor. And if you put everything up front and hammer them that, okay, this is how it works, you know, it's not a cure-all. We know that, but it is. Hydrogen-rich water is the #1 platform, and that's where we get into oxidative stress and inflammation. And for those of you and that's why this water is so freaking powerful, because that's what it's known for. It's known to flush out inflammation. It's known to neutralize the worst free radical that our body can have. And science has been telling us this since since 2007. You know, that's when science has been telling us. I mean, it's been out there way before that, but not here in the United States. Of course, not here in the United States, because the medical professionals, they don't want this out there. Why would they? There's no way, because it would eliminate, because I mean, let's take an example, type 2 diabetes. I mean, there's all kinds of research out there now that shows that hydrogen-rich water has the capabilities to lower glucose blood sugar counts, A1C or whatever you want to call it. It's known for that. I mean, I've got stuff here. I got stuff here all over the place. I mean, here's one. This is one that was done in 2016. Now, what we all have to understand that there's a root cause to every disease, and that's known. And we have to understand that what that root cause is, and that root cause is inflammation. Okay. Now, what is the root cause of inflammation? Well, oxidative stress. We all know that. Most of us do, because we've heard some people at presentations talk about free radical, which is causing oxidative stress. We've all heard about it, but nobody has really said, well, that, inflammation is the root cause for all diseases. So if your gut is sick because of the environmental toxins, and you have more bad gut bacteria than you do good gut bacteria, and 80% of your immune system, which is your mechanism to prevent diseases, is malfunctioning, then guess what? Now, you're not going to get a disease. You may not get a major disease today or tomorrow or a year or 2 or 3. It takes time for that toxic chemicals to build up in the mitochondria of the cell. And so and when that mitochondria, like Dr. Otto Warburg, you guys got to go back and you got to really read the research. There's a lot of sites out there that have translated the research in a way where we can understand it. But you got to learn what Dr. Otto Warburg won the Nobel Prize for. And that is his research on the mitochondria and what happens when a mitochondria gets in the cells, which you have trillions of cells, becomes dysfunctional because of oxidative stress or other issues. Understand that. So anyway, like I said, so what we need to do is we need to find a way, and the easiest and fastest way to flush out the toxic chemicals that are causing oxidative stress to the body, to the cells. That oxidative stress also causes premature aging. Now, I'm 67, pushing 68. Premature aging as a senior, yeah, I want to reverse my aging if it's a possibility, because I want to stay, healthy. So I'm going to I'm going to learn, okay, well, what's the simplest and fastest way? Because see, here in the United States, JJ, when it comes to belly fat or love handles or, whatever, everybody wants what? A quick fix, right? Everybody wants to go on the internet because somebody out there is showing, and they're lying. Guys, my wife is the best researcher I feel out there. She knows how to filter through, when she looks something on Google, she knows how to filter through the crap. And she knows how to get right to the science, right to the truth. She knows how to do that. And that's why, and then she'll send it to me. She'll do all the work and send it to me and I'll read it. And I'm getting better at it, but I let her do that. But anyway, guys, you got to understand that the root cause of all this is because people are chronically dehydrated. Most of the public is chronically dehydrated and they don't even know it. And when you're if you look up chronic dehydration and the side effects of it, it goes right into everything. Bad gut, cellular misfunction, all kinds of stuff. And so if you read Dr. Otto Warburg, he talks about that. Okay, so, so the United States, the public is so involved for a quick fix or find the pill. They get on there, they spend hundreds of dollars on these supplements that don't work. They will not work because the body's not that stupid. Come on. But they see pictures of people, oh, I lost 40 pounds because I took this pill. Now, how does that make sense, Jojo? I mean, JJ, how does that make sense that a pill can make you lose 30 or 40 or 50 pounds in 3 months?
Well, it can only happen that way through, it's only a temporary thing. It's going to come back, or or somehow or another, it's not doing it through the healthy channels. It's probably cutting something off and going to cause something else. So yeah, you might lose some weight. It's like I tell people all the time that are drinking alkaline water that, got all these different things like baking soda in it to make it alkaline. I'm like, yeah, great. You get rid of heartburn, but give yourself osteoporosis. So terrific. What a trade-off. And, so I think there's always a damaging trade-off when people are trying to utilize these quick fixes like liposuction and things like that. It's all just temporary stuff, and they're not going after the root of the problem, right?
Well, yeah, and you know what, and so let's just and so it just doesn't make sense. Okay, so if you're looking for a quick fix, well then why look at the pills when they don't work? Why not look at hydrogen-rich water that has molecular hydrogen H2 in it? That science has case studies all over the place showing that it does detoxify the body and does neutralize free radicals, which is going to reverse oxidative stress. I can say that. I can say, yes, it does reverse oxidative stress. And what the byproduct of that is it's going to help with the root causes of all diseases, which is inflammation. Come on, guys. Inflammation is a key word. That's why obesity is such is an epidemic, is because the body is so toxic and inflamed. That's one of the reasons. Well, I've got, here we go. You guys heard me talk about hydroxyl radicals, which is one of the most dangerous free radicals in the body. This is it. This is crazy stuff. So in 2016, because I want to say this because I want to make sure people understand that it's not me talking about the reversal of oxidative stress. It's not me. So in 2016, Medical Gas Research published a actual abstract case study. Now, this is not a blog post. Whenever you're looking up case or actual scientific studies, it has to say abstract on it. That's a real pilot study, okay? And it says here, medical gas, okay, hydrogen-rich water helps scavenging hydroxyl radicals, which is causing oxidative stress. Okay, now what blows me away about this is that molecular hydrogen H2, now this is a molecule. Now this molecule is in hydrogen H or hydrogen-rich water. That is what gives our water the therapeutic effect, and it has major amounts of the most powerful antioxidant on the planet. And so what is crazy is this hydrogen H2.
Coach, you got to meet my sweetie. This is my sweetheart, my better 99%. This is Coach Mabry.
Hi, Coach.
Hi, how you doing?
Fridays to teach us about oxidation and weight loss, and she's heading off to work. No, give me a kiss, sweetie. Love you.
What do you, Coach? What do you, Coach Yvonne?
So this hydrogen H2 will take the most dangerous free radical in our body and actually convert it right back into water. Can you believe that? Isn't that crazy? It can take the most dangerous free radical and convert it back into H2O. That blows me away. So that's just one. Here's another one. In 2012, medical gas, consumption of water containing molecular hydrogen reduces oxidative stress, causing inflammation. Let's see, this was an open pilot study. Okay, so what it means by open pilot study is that this was done on human beings. You see where I'm getting at, you guys? You see the picture of it? You see how powerful this water is? Science is telling us that they actually used 20 people. They used in this open pilot study, they didn't use mice. They didn't use rats. They didn't use monkeys. They used human beings. And in this pilot study, these people had rheumatoid arthritis. Has you guys ever heard of that? Yeah, rheumatoid arthritis, which for me, that's the first thing I noticed on me when I first started drinking the water is I had chronic arthritis in both shoulders. They both locked up on me because of my profession, and I had a football body. And what happened was, over the years, it just got worse and worse, and inflammation got worse and worse and worse. And at one point, I would lay in bed. I have to sleep on my back, and every so often, the pain was so intense that if I moved one side or the other, I would be moaning in bed because of the pain, and my wife could hear me moan. It got so severe, I had to stop going to the gym. I couldn't lift weights. I had to stop surfing because I couldn't paddle. And I was looking for ways to help this. I wasn't going to go in surgery because being, my wife and I both were actually therapists on a lot. We rehabbed a lot of people with shoulder issues and knee issues. And we saw what happened to most of those that got surgery on their shoulders, what the aftermath was. And I knew that, I don't want to be ruined for the rest of my life. So I said, no, I'll find a way to do it myself. I had no idea about the hydrogen-rich water. That's when my wife brought it home. So when she brought the water home, in the first 3 or 4 days of consuming, because I drank a lot of water, that water, I felt improvement on my shoulders. That's the very first thing I noticed. And that what intrigued me, because all this time I'm looking for ways to rehab my shoulders and it wasn't working. It was getting worse and then I'm drinking this freaking water. Yeah. I mean, come on, I drink a lot of water, but I'm drinking this water that all of a sudden the pain started to dissipate. I had to look into this. The reason why is exactly what these case studies are telling us. The water is structured in a way that it has the ability to flush out inflammation. Okay, and that's why they used, in this one pilot study, they used patients that had rheumatoid arthritis. Well, if it helps with rheumatoid arthritis, it's going to help with all of them. Yeah. Okay, and that's just a few. So those of you the public wants a quick fix. Well, here's your quick fix, because not only is hydrogen-rich water going to be able to help with inflammation, which is the root cause of all diseases, they also have case studies where I talked about the gut health. Okay, if your gut is attached to your brain, and those of you that have autoimmune diseases, you have to get on this water. Or if you have gut issues, diverticulitis, colitis, whatever it is, leaky gut, I don't care what it is. Science is already, let's see, this was done in, where is it? This was done in 2017. Let's see, where is it? Okay. This was done in 2017, where research has shown that molecular hydrogen-rich water, which has molecular hydrogen H2 in it, has helped to reverse, or has helped to keep the good gut bacteria healthy. Because in the gut, your body, if a healthy gut, and you probably have heard me say this before, a healthy gut actually will produce a hydrogen H2 naturally. And there obviously must be a reason why your body's producing, if the gut's healthy. Now I'm saying if. Most of you out there don't even know it, but your gut is not healthy, and that's why you have gut issues. That's why you're gluten intolerant. That's why you're what's the other one? They're dairy. You have issues with dairy. It's all based upon your gut, inflammation in the gut. It's all based, and that's why most of you may not be able to lose that belly fat or that love handles, whatever you want to call them, because your gut's unhealthy. Got to get the gut healthy. I mean, we're very, very well versed on helping people get their gut healthy because we've been doing it for a while. We do it ourselves, and we've actually have helped people in these last years who have these issues. And all we do is say, okay, if you do this or that, it will actually help your gut. Now, what we do is we make our own fresh live kefir, which is known by science as being one of the best, if not the best ways to destroy bad gut bacteria and put back in good gut bacteria, because fresh live kefir is massive amounts of probiotics, massive amounts of B vitamins and minerals in a live form, not a pill form, not a powder form. Now, some people just don't want to take the time to make the kefir. It's so simple, it's so easy, and you need to do it every day because our guts are being attacked. And that's how you're going to get your gut healthy, by putting good probiotics and the B vitamins and the hydrogen H2 in it to escalate reversing a bad gut. But I personally, and my wife and I, really don't promote pills. We don't take we don't take supplements. Now we do take the Enagic turmeric. That is the best one on the market, because how they package it and all that stuff. But if somebody just does not want to do the kefir or just doesn't care about it, there's probably two guys I'll recommend. I only recommend these two guys that have probiotics that I can trust. If I'm going to tell my client, okay, you need to go on the internet and you need to look up Shan Stratton or Wade Lightheart, you need to get their probiotics in. If you're not going to do it the way we suggest it, at least give your gut a chance. So those are the two guys. Those are the only two people that I would recommend their probiotics, because I know those two. I mean, I know who they are, and they're also more focused on health.
Yeah, Shan Stratton, he works with a lot of professional athletes and that kind of thing. He definitely has a pretty. I didn't know that Wade Lightheart had a supplement line of probiotics, but I definitely was aware that Shan did.
Yeah, he does too. Yeah, and they're both good. I mean, they're both great. So you can go to either one.
And if you guys ever get a chance to meet or see Shan or Wade, you'll see that they are most definitely products of the product and products of their product, and so they're definitely somebody to pay attention to.
Yeah.
And just like, hey, Coach, one thing I was wondering if you might be able to do, just because I think the people that are in here, they might find this interesting, because maybe they're not completely familiar with your story. I know that a while back you put up a picture of yourself. You had a side picture and then another picture, and one of them you were standing out in the ocean, and the other one you're in the gym, perking and working in the gym. And like the transformation of your body is pretty incredible. And I was wondering if it would be possible for you to like share your screen and show those pictures to our audience today.
I don't know how to do that. I'm old school, my friend. I don't know how to do that.
Well, it's real easy. Down on the bottom of your screen, there's a share button. It's a green thing, little green envelope, arrow.
Yeah.
And you just say share screen.
So I just click
Click
I
on
click
that share, and it's going to give you an opportunity to share your screen, and then you just go wherever those pictures are on your computer and show them to people.
Do I-
right here online.
do I hit files?
Just hit the share button first, and then
I did. Okay. And up on my screen, I see you, and I see whiteboard. I see iPhone, iPad. I see my weekly. How do I get into my how do I get into my pictures in my PC on this?
Well, once you share your screen, then it's just going to bring your computer up, and then you just go and find wherever they are and pull them up.
All right, let me see what I can do here.
There we go. Now you're over on the side, and there's your screen.
Okay, so then I want to go into documents. Let's see, go into here. I'll go into pictures. Okay, and I'll put in.
This is impressive stuff, kids. This is why I love Coach so much, because he's living the dream. He's doing. He's a product of his product. He's.
So I'll put
he's not teaching us something that he hasn't done himself.
All right.
I respect that kind of thing, because, there's a lot of people out there that they say, yeah, do as I say, but not as I do. And it's reflected in how their body looks.
So if I hit that, how do I post that on my screen? I'll go double click it.
Yeah, you should be able to just double click it. You may have to get like this post attendee Zoom thing that's up there right now. You can just close that, and then it should open up your other stuff.
Okay, so I can close that one. And then this is the other one. Can you see that one? Can you see it?
Right now, all I'm seeing is the Zoom, host your Zoom meeting.
So okay, so do I add to?
Now, if you go up to the top, you just a minute ago brought it up. It said viewing options up on top.
Sorry, guys, I'm old school. Let's see, viewing options. No, I don't see where it's. I see edit, credit, share. I see share. No, I don't. I don't see it. I don't have viewing option. But anyway,
we'll try and work on that. And on the next episode, next Friday, we'll see if we can get those pictures up, just so people can see who it is who they're dealing with, and why we love having you here, brother. Because you got tremendous stuff to offer, and quite frankly, we need it. We need this kind of information. We need this kind of coaching. And
did I lose you, or am I still on?
Yeah, you're still live, and we're still recording.
Okay. Anyway, guys, what happened was, of course, even myself, when I was 57, I was going through a lot of stress, and obviously stress causes inflammation. Inflammation is causing my body to be very toxic, and I ended up gaining a lot of weight. I'm only 5'7.5", and I jumped up to 250 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was not a good deal. But anyway, we'll work on that. I'll have JJ teach me how to do that, because I don't know how to do that. But anyway, get back to the topic. Hey guys, if you want a quick fix and you want to help your body get healthy, and then of course the byproduct's always going to be weight loss, start them off on the water, obviously, because that's the mechanism to flush out inflammation with every glass of water. Hydrogen-rich water. Make sure your device is clean. Here in California, we have to clean our machines every 2 weeks in order to keep the hydrogen H2 high. Then once you start them off on the hydrogen-rich water, you start to detoxify them. They're feeling their inflammation starting to go away. Then we introduce the ketogenic or primal lifestyle eating, which is another another protocol that helps the body to detoxify itself from inflammation, all backed by science. And it's also helps with the gut. All three help with the gut. Once their body has been introduced to burning to the primal eating, which is 75% dietary fat, 20% protein, and 5% very low carbs, all are veggie carbs, no fruit, no starches at first, because you're unhealthy. Your gut's unhealthy. So you don't want to, sugar does what, guys? Causes inflammation. Okay, now a trick that we do, we're human, and sometimes we like to go after dinner on our date night. We'll go to Old Town Temecula. There's a place called the Swinging Inn. They make their homemade pies. Of course, I'm post-cancer, so I have to be careful about the sugar that I eat. Sugar is the main fuel for cancer. Not, Dr. Otto Warburg will talk about that. But the trick I do, guys, is that we don't do this every week. We may do it once a month. But how do I flush out the inflammation that the sugar is causing after I eat it? Because those of us that had chronic arthritis wherever in the body, when you do have a high starchy meal, or if you do have sweets or pie or cake, you're going to feel it because sugar causes inflammation. So guess what I do? As soon as I wait a half hour to 45 minutes or so, or until I get home, after I have the pie, I'll have 20 ounces of hydrogen-rich water. And why do I have 20 ounces of hydrogen-rich water? What have we been talking about?
It flushes out inflammation.
Exactly. So I can still enjoy life, or I can still enjoy going to Thanksgiving and having whatever I want to make myself feel horrible, but it doesn't matter because it tastes good. What do? I go home and have what? I have more hydrogen-rich water. Why? Because I'm flushing out all the inflammation. And so your quick fix pill right now is hydrogen-rich water. That's your quick fix pill. It has to start there. Your body is 75, 80% water. So, and you can't live without it. So let's start with that first and then work our way down. Now, the last protocol we use is intermittent and prolonged fasting. Tons and tons of scientific research showing the same thing as the other two protocols. What does it do? It detoxifies the body. It actually puts you in a state of autophagy, which would mean self-eating. They even have science now. They even have case studies now showing that when you put your body into a longer fast, USC, I think you've heard me talk about that. USC has found that you fast, which means 0 calories, no calories, and you're just drinking water and you're drinking black coffee, nothing in it, or green tea, nothing in it. Well, USC posted a case study proving or showing that if you fast for 72 hours, then your body goes into a state of autophagy, which means self-eating, which means the body is flushing and detoxing all the crappy proteins that are floating around in your body. And they're also showing that the crappy protein and crap that's in your brain is one of the root causes to dementia. And people are seeing that fasting for 72 hours is regenerating new stem cells and flushing out the crappy stuff in the brain. And they're seeing improvement in dementia. Well, guess what? What if you combine it with hydrogen-rich water? Your brain's what? 80% water? Molecular hydrogen H2 is the smallest molecule on the planet. Well, guess what? That molecule can penetrate the blood-brain barrier, get in there, and flush out toxicity. So you combine the hydrogen-H water, which science is also showing it's able to help with dementia, autism, and so forth. Not me. I'm not saying that. Science is saying it. Combine it with with prolonged fasting, which SC is showing it helps to detox the body, self-eating. What do you think is going to happen over time? Now, is it going to happen overnight? Absolutely not. But if that person is consistent, then things will change. So where does it, see, and this is where we need to understand, everything comes back to what? It comes back to hydration.
Yeah.
You got to get that done first. And so, like I said, there's so much science out there on this that the medical professionals, the highfalutin doctors who are saying that, okay, I'm a doctor, I know everything. No, you don't. Because even myself, I don't know everything. I have to learn. I mean, there's new stuff coming out every single day, but I do know for a fact that there's too much science research on hydrogen-rich water, primal eating, and intermittent and prolonged fasting that eventually, now people are jumping on the bandwagon like crazy on this primal eating because of the benefits. They're jumping, even doctors. You got Dr. Jason Fung, who's actually been reversing type 2 diabetes and obesity for the last 10 years because he has found that doing intermittent and prolonged fasting and combining it with a primal eating is actually working, where he states in his book, The Obesity Code, or the Obesity Code, and his new book, which is called The Diabetic Code, he is stating in there that he was misdiagnosing his clients, and the medication, the metformin, and the insulin he was giving his clients weren't working. And he sat down one day and said, you know what? My clients are still dying from type 2 diabetes or they're dying from obesity. We're not able to help them. Why? What's going on? Well, he started investigating intermittent fasting and primal eating. It's sad because most of these health professionals don't talk much about the water. They always talk about food and the fasting. They don't talk anything about the water because they just don't know. I have no idea. But he started reversing these issues, and now guess what he's doing? He's all over YouTube. You type in Dr. Jason Fung, you're going to get him in doing seminars or talking to other doctors, and he's actually showing proof on how and why these protocols are reversing type 2 diabetes and why they're taking people that are on insulin, taking them off.
How do you spell his last name?
It's Fung, F-U-N-D, Dr. Jason Fung.
F-U-N-E.
G as in
oh, F-U-N-G.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then this is how new it is, JJ. Then you have a researcher in 2017 or 16 who actually won a Nobel Prize because he is the one that discovered autophagy. He's the one that discovered it. And all three protocols, you combine the hydrogen H2 and primal eating and intermittent prolonged fasting, combine them together, inflammation doesn't have a chance. No way. And if you research all three of these on actual scientific sites, they all three have something in common. All three of them. They all are attacking the same diseases. So
inflammation.
Exactly. They're all attacking the same diseases. But of course, it takes time to reverse. Your body has been so sick for so many years. Don't expect things to change overnight. And if you're not consistent in what you're doing, and if you're still thinking that, okay, I did great this week, so I'll have a pie or a cake or something, you know what? The bottom line is, while you're healing your body, and you're becoming fat adapted, because that's what's going to help you reverse many of your diseases, is because you're becoming fat adapted. Fat adapted means what? Means that your body is using fat as its main source of energy. It's not using sugar anymore. That's the stage you want to get into, fat adapted. That's where the magic starts. Hydrogen-rich water, primal eating, intermittent and prolonged fasting, all three combined is the most powerfulest way to become fat adapted and to completely transform your body in both ways. Overall health, and guess what? There goes your belly fat.
Amen. Well, kids, if you guys want to make sure everybody that's out here on the live feed, you guys should definitely send Coach Mabry a friend request so that you can pay attention to the things that he's posting. on a daily basis, because not only is he posting some recipes and things like that that he and Emily are utilizing, but I hope that as we continue to get into these Friday discussions, that we can start giving some people some actual hard examples of, here's a recipe you can try. Here's what I'm talking about. Here's exactly how this works. Here's what I do. That way they can get a visual on it. As far as what, when you say intermittent prolonged fasting, I'd imagine there's a lot of people who they're like, oh, I need to starve myself for 3 days, and that kind of thing. And I don't think that's what it's all about, but there's different ways that our body utilizes energy. And, our main energy source that we need is hydrogen. And, we need hydrogen, we need electricity. That's one of those two things are so incredibly important. So I can definitely understand how, fasting with basically only a water fast, you're drinking hydrogen rich water for 3 days straight, and that's all you're drinking. I would imagine that you're going to get some pretty incredible results from doing that. And so I definitely want to show people what you've actually done to transform yourself, and maybe even show them what's going on with Emily too, just because people sometimes need to see examples of what's being talked about before they're willing to actually jump on it and give it a shot. And so Coach does this stuff for a living. He teaches people how to do this. And, so you can definitely reach out to him, and I'm sure that he'll be happy to introduce you to his program and how you can take advantage of it and that kind of thing, and how you can teach others to do the same as time goes by. And, so Coach, what a fascinating discussion again today. Every Friday I look forward to Fridays now because I get to meet with you on Fridays. I don't look forward to Fridays for the typical reasons that most people do, because for me, being the serial entrepreneur, every day is just another awesome day. Doesn't really matter what day of the week it is. Oftentimes I lose track of what the heck day of the week it is, Just got to make sure I know when Friday's here.
Yeah. But you know what? I think I every Friday, most of the time I'll post a recipe. I've got a recipe I'm going to post today on my Facebook. And so I think next Friday, JJ, what do you think? We do this topic where I will explain how I drink the water, the meals that are the primal eating meals I eat, and how I do my protocol on intermittent and prolonged fasting, what Emily and I do. And then and I'll explain that, or I'll show them, explain our protocols and what we do. And then I could send you my before and after pictures, ours. Do you want me to do that personally to your email?
Or you could just post them right on the, because this is going to be up live on the Kong family page. And you'll see all the comments from all the people today that were on here, that are still on here live and making comments and giving lots of loves and likes and all that kind of stuff. And maybe you could just drop those pictures down into the comments section.
Okay, I can do that.
And that way they'll be available for everybody else to grab if they want to share them out and share this episode out. And then once the recording's done, I'll drop it in there on the page, and I'll also send you the recording, of course, like I always do. And we can continue to share this information with people. And I just really appreciate you coming in here, taking your valuable time. And one of these mornings, you're gonna have to bring Emily in so I can get a chance to meet that little sweet angel.
Well, you know what? Our mornings, I'll be honest with you guys, our mornings, 7 days a week, we spend a couple of hours in the Word every morning. And so before we even start our day off. So Emily, it's hard to break her away when she's studying. So,
yeah.
But I'll see if I can break her away and she can come in and say hi real quick.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Definitely would love to see her smiling face. And you know, if she has anything to add to any of these, if there's anything she ever wants to drop in here and drop a dime and let us, you know, hear some of her wisdom, that would be great too. And yeah, just so appreciative of you taking your time, buddy. I know you're busy, and I just appreciate everything you're doing out there to help us accomplish our mission. We got to change the world, and that just happens one family, one person at a time, right? You know, we change our own world, and then we can go out there and help other people change their world too. And that's what I'm all about. I know that's what you're about, and just enjoying the heck out of being able to be on this mission with you, brother. And so,
Okay, and real quick tip, those of you that are interested in starting to get your gut healthier, I don't know Shan Stratton's or Wade Lightheart's website, but look them up, look at their products, and you can get started getting your gut healthier just by doing that. They also have another issue is digesting food, and so both of them have products that will promote your enzymes, which is what you need to digest food. That also can, you might even notice by when you start consistently on their products, and then later if you want me to send you how we make our kefir. Of course, the kefir is live and fresh. With every glass, you're going to get live. But you can get started right now by doing that, and you may notice that your weight will start to lose, or you might lose weight because you're actually putting more good digestive enzymes in your stomach to help digest the food you're eating. Don't drink any water with your food, you guys. Don't drink any. Have a half hour before you eat solid foods. Have a big glass of H2 water. Don't drink any water during your eating phase. Let your body digest it first. Don't drink any water. Wait a half hour to 45 minutes afterwards. Start doing your water again, and you might be and take the products, and you might be surprised what your weight does. It's kind of fun to watch. But those of you that might want to know how Emily and I, we make our own kefir and kombucha, all homemade, just message JJ. He'll get your information to me, or message me on Facebook or Messenger, whatever you want. And I'll actually send you the video of Emily will explain what you need and how to make it. And I'll back it up with all the science so you can educate yourself of the benefits when you're doing fresh live kefir for any gut issue you have. I mean, if you're looking to really reverse your IBS or so forth, do it alternative, do it naturally with real live probiotics. So that's it. I'm done.
sounds great. I love it, Coach. Thank you so much. I look forward to next week and talking about the water, the meals, and the fasting process, and maybe we'll be able to throw in a little bit of a link or something to Shan and Wade so people can go that route if they want to.
Yeah.
Also, definitely would love to hear how you're making your own. You know, there's a lot of people that would prefer to go that route if they can too. So, hey, let's give them all their choices and then they can make educated decisions, right?
Right, exactly.
All right, my brother, you have yourself an awesome rest of the day. Have yourself an incredible weekend. And we'll be talking soon.
Okay, well, you guys have a blessed week, the rest of the week, and we'll see you guys next Friday. I might be sharing a secret next Friday, so tell your friends to get on this, to get on JJ's Zoom, because you might learn something next Friday that you probably have never heard of, and it could be a quick fix to losing that belly fat.
Amen. I love it. I love quick fixes, especially when they're con fixes.
Yeah. Yep, exactly.
All right, brother.
Okay, guys. Yeah.
Love you, buddy. Bye for now.
Bye.